Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Irene and I create videos about K-pop auditions every single Sunday. So one of the most asked questions I get about K-pop auditions is what should I audition with and how do I know if they're overused or not? Which is honestly quite important when it comes to auditions. So here I have the top audition song choices from 2025 with me here today. And actually, this information is from DCT Family Official. This is an Instagram account for a Thai K-pop academy, you could think of it as. Their Instagram does post like auditions often, but I would say they're more so like the more like popular auditions. So I'm not sure if that information would be too resourceful for you guys, but they also have like training classes in Thailand. And one unique thing about them is that they actually also taught Triple S's Hollin and also other idols too. So they're definitely like have some merit to them, but they just released the top audition songs for 2025, most likely from the people that they teach and also the auditions that they receive. So it's kind of divided into 10 vocal song choices, 10 dance song choices, and then 10 rap song choices. So what I'm going to do in this video is basically tell you if they're a play or a skip. I thought this would be like a fun little concept that we can do. Just saying if they're actually suitable for audition, maybe a little bit too overused or just not the best song choice for an audition. Alright, let's get started with the rap category. I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about the rap category too often. We're going to go from song choice 10 to work our way up to number 1. So number 10 is Masked Wolf's Astronaut in the Ocean. And also I recommend kind of listening to the verses as you go on with this because you might not be familiar with all of these song choices. I certainly wasn't familiar with all of these, including this one, so I did a listen through. Portion was actually trending on maybe Instagram or TikTok, on social media for sure. I would actually go with skip for the song choice. Why do you ask? Well, it's a very melodic rap, and with melodic raps they can be good if you do have a certain vocal tone or like a rap tone to it and a unique style and flow. However, for most people this isn't the case and it actually might sound a bit talk singing, if that makes sense. That's the case with melodic raps. They just might sound a little bit boring or uninteresting to audition judges, so I would recommend against this specific song choice. But at number 9 we've got All Day Project's Wicked. Now I'm sure you could already guess that this song choice is overused, but I feel like it's not a terrible song choice. Now they're a pretty unique group because they have 4 rappers in the group and 1 vocalist, meaning that there's a lot of rap verses that you can choose from in this song. I would just go with one of the verses, either the very first rap verse or the one right after the first chorus, which I believe is Tarzan's part. They are on the shorter side, so just watch out for that. If you do want to mix in a little bit of the chorus along with the rap, that might be a good choice for you. Kind of depends on which part of the song that you decide to go with. At number 8, we've got Lisa's F Up the World. Alright, so this might be a little bit controversial, but I don't think Lisa's songs are amazing for rap song choices. Well, firstly, they're very overused. I've seen so many people use Blackpink verses for their audition song choice, and that just isn't the best idea because the Blackpink members, I wouldn't say are like the strongest rappers. They're kind of like K-pop rappers where they're kind of like fitting inside the box and don't decide to like try out different styles or techniques or have anything unique specifically about their rap tones. At number 7, we've got August D's Techida, so like Suga from BTS. I would say this is very, very much so overused. I've seen a lot of people use this for their rap auditions, so I would say skip. At number 6, we've got the Plain Jane remix with A$AP Fergie featuring Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj song choices are very widely used amongst K-pop rappers. But yeah, I'm just gonna give this one an easy play because the entire song is pretty much just rap. I would just say it's more so about finding your style because Nicki Minaj herself has a very distinct style that you don't want to directly copy. I feel like directly copying is great for when you're a beginner and you're learning these song choices, but once you get to that level where you're auditioning with a song, you want to add a bit of your own unique style because ultimately that is what the judges are looking for. At number 5, we've got Eminem's Godzilla, and I feel like no one is surprised by this. I'm sure you guys have seen Baby Monster's Asa rap to this as well. This one is a good song choice, but I've also seen it go wrong a lot of the times. I feel like a good example of it going right is Baby Monster's Asa. But yeah, it's a little bit difficult just because of the enunciation, and sometimes speed isn't the only thing of rap that you want to show. I feel like what's more important is your style and flow. I feel like speed can be taught and it can be practiced as well, but what can't be taught is your unique style and flow. So in an audition setting, it's better to showcase that rather than, oh, I can rap to this really, really fast. All right, so I would still give this a play, but do it with caution, okay? All right, number 4 is actually what we just talked about before, kind of. So Baby Monster's Asa's version of Look Alive. Now, the thing about using someone's version of a song is that you're probably gonna be copying their distinct style and tone. And now she has more of a nasally execution to the song, which I would say works for her voice, but it might not work for your voice. So I would stay cautious of that, but because it is a fire song choice in itself and the rap verses are pretty good, I would still say play. But again, just do it with a bit of caution so that you're not directly copying her style. Now things are getting interesting. We're at the top 3 and we've got Baby Monster's Batter Up. This one, it's actually like 2 rap verses combined into one, you could think of it as. And you know what? It's a really catchy rap. I feel like if you can execute it well, it would be good. You just have to simply do it well. But honestly, that goes for any song choice, right? So I would give this one a play. And at number 2, I'm actually surprised this one is not number 1 just because of how overused it is for auditions. And that one is XG's Woke Up. This one has so many solid rap verses that you can pick from. I feel like you can't really go wrong with a specific rap, but just stay cautious of the fact that it is indeed overused, so that a lot of people are rapping with this and you will be compared to someone who potentially might be better than you. But I would still give this one a play. Also, I'm biased to it because I feel like the song is pretty good in itself. At number 1, the grand finale of rap, we've actually got Jennie featuring Doechie's Extra L. Skip, I'm sorry. Doechie's verse is actually really good, but I feel like it just gets a little bit boring after that very first few lines of the song. Gimme cheat, gimme purr, gimme meow, gimme her, gimme fun. Skip, I'm so sorry, but this one is just one of those typical song choices that you only pick because you like the song and the artist rather than because it's a fire song in itself. I feel like Doechii and also Jennie has like other really great rap verses that you can use for song choices that are more so on the less overused side so that you can still stand out. Now, assuming that you guys are using Doechii's rap verse for your audition song, I feel like the first few lines are pretty good, but then afterwards it gets a little bit repetitive, and I feel like that just isn't what you want for any audition song choice regardless of the category. So that is why I'm giving this one a skip personally, but that is all for the rap verses. And now I want to move on to the vocal song choices. So just like last time, let's just start from the bottom and work our way to the top 3 and ultimately the top choice. At number 10, we've got Taeyeon's All About You. Now this song choice is an OST from Hotel de Luna. Love the drama, love the song, but putting my bias aside, it is actually a really good song. I feel like this just goes for all Taeyeon songs that I'm going to be talking about for the song choice, and then also for the other ones upcoming in this list, because obviously there are other ones. I feel like you just have to really execute your emotions well. It just goes down to, can you sing ballads well, and is that your strength when it comes to stage presence? Because honestly, it might not be. Some people are really great at executing really like sad emotional emotions and expressions, whereas other people are better at something like rap or something a little bit more positive or like brighter energy songs. It just goes down to what you personally enjoy and what you think you can strive the best in. So I'm actually gonna give this one a pass. Is that what we've been doing? Play. Where did pass come from? I would say All About You is kind of at that midpoint where it's not too overused, but it's not too underused either. It's kind of on the more overused song side though. Alright, at number 9, we've got Madison Beer's Reckless. I feel like this song has been trending on social media lately. Maybe that's why it made it onto the list. But I'm gonna give this one a skip. So Madison Beer herself, I feel like has a pretty, like a nice color to her voice. I feel like it's a little bit easier to describe in Korean, but sometimes you describe artists of their vocal color. It's kind of about their unique style and their tone specifically. So color, tone, kind of synonymous, you could think of it as. But she does have a really nice vocal color, and if you apply that to the song, that's what makes it interesting. If you kind of like take that away from the song and strip her vocals out, it's just not that interesting of a song to begin with, and doesn't really push any stage presence to be showcased. It's not really at that extreme emotional side either. So that is why I'm going with skip, but I'm sure there is someone in this world that could execute this really well for an audition. that is if you have a really great vocal color, and that might be a little bit difficult to recognize that yourself. So that's kind of where like a third person opinion might be helpful. Alright, so number 8, we've got Taeyang's Eyes, Nose, Lips. Again, we're truly not surprised by this. This one is so common when it comes to audition songs, and I feel like it's also one of the go-to songs that you play when you're at karaoke with your friends or whatever. But yeah, this one is a pretty good song choice, kind of similar to what I said for Taeyeon. It got that really like emotional ballad type song. I feel like it kind of divides itself into this. So a lot of Korean people that are auditioning actually audition with ballads. Just a fact. I feel like a lot of them do go with like ballads from solo artists, whereas international people might not go with a ballad. Like that might not be their first choice. But no, this song definitely gets a play because it's a pretty good song choice in itself, and you can showcase so many emotions through this. At number 7, we've got an Imujin song, and that is Traffic Light. I think that's one of his more popular songs, but Imujin, if you listen to his voice, you automatically know it's him because the way he pronounces his words and executes the lyrics of a song, he just always makes it his. So no matter what song it is, you can kind of tell if he's singing it or not. So because of that, I'm actually going to give this one a skip. It's just so easy to fall into the trap of directly copying the artist's style, and I feel like this song choice and just this artist is a great example of that. He is a great singer in himself, but unless you're gonna change the song choice to really make it yours, it's a little bit difficult to do. Alright, at number 6, we've got Taeyeon's Fine. Now, I will say now we're getting into kind of more so overused territory because this specific song of Taeyeon's actually gets a lot of uses for audition. So I'm gonna go with the skip actually, but I mean, if you do play it, that is fine with me. Honestly, like if you play out of these that I give a skip to, I'm completely fine with it. It's just purely my opinion. But yeah, it is a little bit on the more so overused side. But like I mentioned for the other song choices about emotional points, just make sure to reference that again. At number 5, we got Olivia Rodrigo's Traitor. And I'm actually surprised that this specific song has made it onto this list. I feel like I would expect something like Vampire or maybe Driver's License to be on this list, not Traitor. But I'm gonna give Traitor a skip. I feel like there's actually a lot better Olivia Rodrigo songs to choose from. When it comes to her songs, there's a lot of melodic ones, there's a lot of emotional ones, a lot to pick from, and Traitor specifically isn't the best example of that, I guess. The best reasoning I can give is that it's a little bit more repetitive when it comes to her songs. So if you do really like how she sings her songs and just a general style, I would explore other song choices by her. If you have a really nice vocal color that you want to showcase, I recommend trying Lacy by Olivia Rodrigo. If you don't, it might make the song a little bit stale in itself, but still give it a try. I think it's a nice song. Alright, at number 4, we've got John Legend's All of Me, and I feel like this is again one of those classic songs that people audition with, even just outside of the K-pop space actually. This one, I would say it is a little bit overused, but still play because there's a lot of emotions that you can showcase with this song choice, but just be wary that it is indeed on the overused side. And then now we're getting into the top 3 finally. So we've got Lewis Capaldi's Someone You Love. And I'm surprised this one isn't number 1 because it is so overused. If I were to pick a song from all of these 30 song choices, it's gonna be this one. I've heard this one so many times, so I can't even imagine how many times the judges have heard it. I feel like I've even mentioned it in my videos about how many people use this specific song choice, so automatically it gets a skip. It's a really nice song choice, but I don't know why it attracts a lot of people, and so many people audition with this to the point where it gets a little bit sickening to hear. At number 2, we've got a song that I really was not expecting because I've never seen anyone really pick this song for their audition, and it is What Other People Say by Sam Fisher and Demi Lovato. I listened to the whole song. I don't really recognize any part of the song, but that might just be me. I'm not really like a Demi Lovato listener, but I feel like this song does actually run the risk of it sounding a little bit too nasally and like forced out. Also, the melody is a little bit repetitive in itself, so that is why I'm going to give this one a skip. It is also like only my first couple of listens, so maybe it does get better after a couple listens, but also keep this in mind. If the judges have never heard a song before, you want it to automatically like cling to them rather than it being a little bit more forgettable. I would say this song choice is a little bit forgettable the first listen, just my pure opinion. Let me know if you think differently. But let's move on to the very top one song choice when it comes to the vocal category, and that one is, to no one's surprise, Lehi's Only. And automatically I'm just gonna give this one a skip just because it's very overused, but it's still a really good audition song choice, just outside of the fact that it's really overused. So if you still want to go with the song choice, I would still actually be cool with it. It is a really great song choice, kind of like Taeyeon's song, or even like Taeyang's song, Taeyeon. It's a little bit similar. But yeah, both of their songs, all their songs are very like emotional, and this one is like the ballad to audition for, especially like in this generation. I feel like a lot of EHI's more so popular songs are very commonly used for auditions, not just Only. So it is up to your discretion, and I think I'm actually gonna wrap it at this because the video is actually getting very long. So this is the vocal and rap part, and then next week's video is going to be me going through the dance portion for play or skip. All right, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys next week. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. Bye.